up on Taylor Day.
Shocking. Okay. It isn't, is it, you piece of poop? No, I bet it is. It's just frozen. Yeah. It did. Okay. So, how do I find the area of a rectangle? WL. So, LW equals area, yeah? What if it's a square? It's still LW, except what? L equals W. So do I need two letters? No. So we can have LL, which would be L squared. We can have WW, which would be W squared. Or we can be smart and give it the same letter, S. S squared. All the same thing, yes? Yeah. All right. So, if you are provided with the area of a square, how can you determine the side length? Well, area equals, as we just found out, S squared, right? So that's algebra. What do you got to do? Square root. So area equals S squared, but I don't want S squared. S must equal the square root of the area. And that is where the term comes from. We use it to describe squares because they're the easiest thing to describe. But the process and the concept goes well beyond a bizarre tasting strawberry.
It's like earthy.
Maybe it's moldy. I mean, it grows on. Wait, what does strawberries grow on?
It's moldy. It grows in straw. I'm not joking. Strawberries. Why are they called that? They grow in straw. You put straw in. No. No! You know, they don't get. McDonald's doesn't go around spreading plastic straw. The plant! Straw!
There's a plant named straw.
Like straw mattresses and like. Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure.
Straw, like the movie. Oh, straw. Wait, the straw isn't like the little brownish.
Where do you think all your strawberry straws go? Into strawberry.
Gold into straw? Hey, gold into straw. Straw into gold?
Is it the straw like straw? Wait, whoa, I heard that somewhere. And I was
Straw in the same line.
The best and brightest.
Yeah.
The best and brightest.
Hey, don't you know about straw?
Yes, the version of hay. Whoa.
Okay.
That was all. Look at the thing that.
Oh, yeah, it's like a version of hay. It grows on that?
Wow.
So this symbol is asking you to find two equal factors of whatever follows the symbol. Now, please, please, please highlight whatever. It doesn't matter what is under that roof. You are always looking for two equal factors of everything that's under there when you see that symbol. Okay? Okay. Now, let us move on to this, cabbages. How would I find the volume of a rectangular prism? LWH. Length, LWH. Right? Because in a rectangular prism, L does not equal W, does not equal H. What if it's a cube? V equals either LLL, WWW, HHH, or SSS. Because in a cube, L equals W equals H. So SSS S cubed. Now you guys are smart kids. If you have the volume and you need the side, what are you going to do? No, you're not going to square root it. You're going to cube root S. Good luck.
Bye, good luck, have fun.
Is he going to a football game this time or a dance play? 'Cause last time
He's walking down, he's making that long walk out to the field for the 3:30 kickoff.
Downtown, walking fast, paces fast, I'm holding on.
If this symbol is asking me to find two equal factors, what is this symbol asking me to do?
3.
Oh wow.
Find three equal factors of whatever.
Follows.
Well, apparently we're saying it in a Tea Party voice of whatever. Pinkies up. Whatever follows
The symbol.
the symbol. And I just happen to have some tea right here that I am going to drink left-handed, pinky up.
But then you can't see the mustache.
That's okay.
Mr. Myers. In class last day, our teacher showed us this video. It's called the consent video. It's about it's called Would You Like a Cup of Tea? But
Yes,
every time you have
I've seen it.
tea, replace it with.
I've seen it, yes.
It's pretty funny.
It's funny, yes.
It's really funny.
It's very funny.
Yeah, because your class stinks.
Unfortunately,
I don't think
it does tend to make light. It makes a little light of a pretty serious situation that doesn't need to be made. It's not a difficult situation to be in, right? It's very simple. You only need 3 words. No means no. Forever and ever. That whole night, that whole time. Forever. Okay? You are not trying to con somebody into buying your house. Right? It's not a negotiation. It is no. And that I want a cup of tea thing, or do you want a cup of tea? Yes, it's funny, I like it, it's neat. But really, it shouldn't be necessary. And yet, sadly, it is.
And then she showed us the sex offender shopping.
I love that video.
The what? What?
The sex offender shop. It's a music video. It's like the state of Florida. That's just too.
What do you guys do in law? Oh my
Nothing.
goodness.
You actually get stuff done. Just imagine the one kid that goes to law school after going in that law class and
First of all, you don't go to law school until after you go to 4 years of university
Graduate study.
to make you forget about Law 12.
Bachelor of Law.
it depends.
No, you have to do 4 years of actual university. Yeah. Then you need, and then you get into law school.
Only like 1 or 2 classes that you don't take.
Yeah.
Yeah,
University, Ivy only gives you credit for a
yeah,
couple of
some universities don't even
Usually like
Yeah.
they tell you to do it again because you always get them.
And UBC, for UBC, you have to get 5s and 6s in your class even just to get them. If you don't get a 5 or 6 in your class, you don't get credit for it.
You have the
For which you seek.
Yeah.
what the
Like,
You like using proper
I
grammar?
like the word seek because it's like
As do
C,
I.
And then there's just a K at the end.
For which you suck.
You see it and you seek it.
What's the difference between see and seek?
They're different words.
What's the difference?
I see you right now.
Well, yes, but they could.
If you were not in front of me and you were to be in front of me, I would be seeking you so I could see you.
What's the difference between affect and effect?
Affect is the verb. Effect is the noun. So if you punch me in the nose, the effect of that is a bloody nose. You will affect me by causing me pain.
I hate English.
What about then and then?
That's easy. Then is a comparison. Then has the power.
I am prettier than my brother.
Well, no.
Then some chick came along and went out with him instead of me.
Well, maybe you got a better personality then.
I got it.
Huh? Not if you knew my brother. Oh, for the love of God.
If you want, you continue to list
I got
that
it.
answer. Mr. Myers, classroom, student speaking. Oh,
The whole plan. It's all part of the plan, you know.
she was actually looking for Mr. Lackelt's classroom, so Mr.
Before you mistakes for it, they're not perfect. Equals y factors.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna break something.
Any real number would know that.
I'm on.
It's Friday.
What did he say?
He just hated it.
Which can? Is C and N plus we can?
Okay? That little number there tells you how many factors you need. Now, it's just about the only time in math, certainly the only time in the math that you guys are going to do, that when the number isn't there, it's usually what? No. Usually in math, we don't write 1. In this case, we are not writing the 2 because you couldn't ever have a 1 root of a number, could you? Because no number has only one factor, except the number 1. Okay? Okay. So when there's nothing there, it's really a 2. Now, I cannot stress this enough. I have said many, many times that the number one impediment to success in high school math, the single biggest problem that you guys all bring to the table, is a lack of working math knowledge. What I mean by that is this. If I were to be tasked with building a house, I could not do that. However, if I was put on a job site and told what to do, I could, because I have enough prior knowledge. I know how to read a tape measure. I know how to hammer nails together. I know how to make straight angles. I know how to square up a wall. I know how to do a bunch of things, but I don't know how to do the whole thing, right? You guys are not as guilty of this as other classes because you guys come in here actually knowing how to multiply and divide and actually knowing some stuff and being able to apply it. So most of the time, you're significantly better off than your peers because you believe us when we tell you things like knowing how to multiply will make your life easier. This is another one of those cases. What I'm about to do holds no actual value except to make math easier for you to do later on. Now, you guys are all on a path that is going to lead you to absolutely take no prisoners. You are lucky to get out of it with the skin on your back math. So everything you can do to make that math easier, you should be doing. And one of those things is knowing the perfect squares from 0 to at least 400. And the perfect cubes from 0 to 1,000. I cannot stress it enough. Okay? Whether you do so or not is totally up to you, but I would recommend it. Some of you may know them already. 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 4, 3, 9, 4, 16. And again, you needn't write this down, but for what I'm about to do, I want them, so I'm writing them. You may try to see how far you can get in your head. You may want to try going past 400. No, not up to the square of 400. No.
And then for perfect cubes, you can go all the way up to the cube root of 1,000.
Yeah, I was like, why is the higher one?
What's the cube root of 736? Go.
By the end of this unit, you'll be able to do that.
You also thought I'd be able to know my times tables at the end of grade 3.
I still don't know how to do long division.
I know how to do that. I remember that. I know how to do things. I just need my friend called the calculator.
You had to have been taught one.
No,
And luckily, there's.
because you usually learn
As long
in
as I
grade
have a
3.
charged cell
For
phone.
some reason, we didn't do it. Grade 4, I was in a split class, so we didn't do it. Grade 5, people had already.
I'm stuck there.
Grade 6.
But then 25 is 625.
Didn't do a lot of math. Grade 7, people's recognition. I know. Grade 7, everybody had chosen by that. With grade 8, and then, you know, and then the teacher wanted to do grade 8. No, the grades have already checked. Thank you.
Yeah, you probably can.
I can. It's just very easy. No.
I couldn't do long division in the 4th grade either. My mom went into the... No, I know that, but in the 4th grade, I told my mom I couldn't do it. My mom said, "Let me see your book," and I showed my mom the book, and my mom was like, "It's the stupidest way I've ever seen. Throw that away. Do this." She showed me her way. I don't know. She showed me her way, and I was like, "Sweet." And then I went back to school and I was doing it, and my teacher said, "Oh, you can do long division now." I said, "Yeah, my mom taught me," and she said, "Yeah, that makes sense," because my mom learned it the old way before they changed everything.
My mom helped me do it. I learned it in grade 1.
There. See, 6 divided by 12 is 2. I figured that out for long division.
Oh, long division, like the whole like words.
But I wanted to throw the arrows down, and then they marked the question wrong. And they used like 10 for the entire 10% of my mark for not throwing an arrow.
Okay.
Okay, I don't need to learn it.
Yeah, I don't know any.
Mr. Richmond said I won't do it for the rest of high school.
What?
Long division. Mr. Hirschman also thought it was very, very important that when we were doing rational and irrational numbers.
It absolutely is.
But he weighed the definitions so high all the time.
Yes, because that is proof that you actually know something and can't beyond being able to do it.
Every single time I would retest, he would ask me, even though I got it right every single time. I'm confused. So if you got it right, then what's the problem with him asking?
All right. Now, I know how much you guys hate estimating, but I do not care.
I love us.
I don't.
I said the same thing.
Please notice that the square root of 72 does not exist anywhere on our list, does it?
No, it's not a perfect square.
So it's not a perfect square, which means
It's just like question 6.
our...
I didn't hear it.
Oh, she gets a gummy bear. What did she say?
Little early, but...
I want to get on it. Come on, back.
Okay. It's not a perfect square, which means it's most likely irrational. And how do you know it's irrational? Because of what we're about to do. 72 exists between 64 and 81, yeah? Okay. 64's square root is 8. 81's square root is 9. Therefore, the square root of 72 must live in the middle, yeah? Okay. So, how do you know it's irrational or not? Well, we know it can't be 9. It's got to be 8 something, right? So this is really the square root of 64 and then a little bit more, yes? Right? How far? How far from 64 is it to 72? 8 steps, right? 64 to 72 is 8. 64, 65, 66, up to 8, yeah? How far is it from 64 to 81? 17, right? So it's 8 and 17 steps. Neither one of those are perfect squares, so therefore this is going to be irrational. That's the first thing I want to bring to your attention. That's what makes this irrational, just like question 6. But it doesn't help us estimate the answer. What helps us estimate the answer is this. If the square root of 64 is 8, right? And I've gone 8 out of 17 steps to the next number, isn't 8 out of 17 awfully close to a half? So what is our guess? 8.5. Then, if we go to our calculator, 8.5 squared, we find the answer to be 72 and a quarter, which is pretty darned close. Okay? When would we use this? Anytime you need to find a square root out in the real world. You're painting a wall, you're building a fence, you're mowing your lawn. It doesn't matter. You got to buy some stuff to do a job. Okay? So what's 180?
It's between 13 and 14.
13, 196, 14. So it must be 13, and it must be irrational.
Way closer to 14 than it is to 13.
So how far is it from 169? 11. How far is this?
Oh no, not that.
27. Right, 27. Yeah? Yeah. So that's pretty darn close. 11/27 is pretty darn close to what easy fraction? 1/3, right? So this is pretty darn close. The square root of 180 must be pretty darn close to 13 and a third. Picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah.
Sooner or later the computer will pick up what I've actually put down on it. There it is.
Excuse me.
December 20.
300, go.
Oh, gosh. I watched that yesterday for the first time.
What's that one pretty close to?
11, is that 11, right?
It's pretty close to 12 out of 36, which is 1/3. So 17 and a third. Gouda? Great. Do you think it
I get it.
That's
like honestly that's the first time you've gotten that? I've said it like 1,000 times. That's the first time you've gotten it. Gouda.
What about
Great.
lettuce, continue cabbages?
I don't think you've ever said it to me.
Yes, I
You
have.
said it so many times.
Do you understand lettuce and cabbages?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Gouda is a
See,
cheese.
I'm the only one.
and then great.
And then grate.
Yeah, it took me a while. to
Grate
figure it
your
out.
cheese.
I would have freaked out like originally because I had the inside joke with my friends.
Oh my goodness.
I know that. I have said it.
But like, okay,
I said
I
it that
said it
wasn't
many
in either
times.
class. It wasn't in either class.
Nobody. Oh, Byron.
Byron!
Byron.
I didn't get it.
Has he said Gouda great yet
I
this
didn't
year?
know the kind of.
Yeah, if you don't know Gouda is a cheese, the joke doesn't work. But if you know Gouda is a cheese, you should get the joke.
Second best.
Then it's
Okay,
pretty
first of all, no.
easy.
Gouda is cheese's ugly Dutch cousin.
No.
Yes.
Survive.
Gouda can go away.
Cheddar, Parmesan.
If you know that Gouda's a treat, a cheese, it's pretty breezy to understand.
It's so
It's
good.
supposed to melt. Parmesan never melts.
Yes, it does.
You have to melt it like.
You put down a nice non-stick pan, you sprinkle it with Parmesan cheese, you let it melt a little, then you pull it off with a spatula, then you drape it over a bowl, and then you serve dips in your bowl of Parmesan cheese that you then eat afterwards. All right.
Like a really
I
good
picture it
aged
as a
cheddar, like Bouldersons or something, is
No,
also
cheddar is by far
Why
the
do you
worst.
call it blue cheese? Is it because it's mold?
Yes. The blue in cheese is mold.
Because cheese is, all cheese is mold. Cheddar is mold.
No, no. All cheese is curdled. It is not moldy.
Cheese is not moldy, but it's technically mold because it's like.
So wait, they're eating moldy cheese.
Mold
Yes.
is
That's gross.
different.
Blue
That's like saying that
cheese.
all bacteria is the same.
Blue cheese has
I don't know.
its place.
Even though yogurt's white, it's got a lot of culture.
Bacteria.
I'm never eating Activia in my life.
So of course,
I've never eaten avocado
It is
toast
because I'm
in
belly
my
dancing.
life.
I have made avocado mayonnaise. I have used avocado, mashed avocado as the mayonnaise in sandwiches.
Hummus, which is just.
Yes. No, it's mashed avocado. Guacamole is
Any chickpeas in it or anything. It was just avocado.
yes, avocado. Well, no, because if it's hummus, there should have been some tahini added to it and some garlic and.
Well, I looked at the ingredients and there wasn't chickpeas.
Well, that's Well, of course, there's no chickpeas in it because chickpea hummus is ground up chickpeas. Hummus is not the thing; it's the process.
I've never had hummus.
It's delicious. That surprises me
That's delicious.
Hummus?
that he's never had it.
Oh. That's not hummus. That was ranch. I've never had no chicken sauce. I think I've had McDonald's like 2-3 times. Yeah, maybe once. I've had a chicken once.
It's a salad shop on like 20.
When we get to here, I like to do my rounding off here. This is awfully close to 350. This is awfully close to 500. So I like to say this is 55 out of 150, which is awfully close to 1/3.
Then we know it's 7 1/3. We're close.
Therefore, 7 1/3. 3 dots like that is therefore. And then 176 is, of course, 125 and 216, which is 5 and 6. And again, I would say that's 40 over 90, which is a little less than half, right? Okay. Here is what I want from you. You are going to do pages 118 and 119. And you are going to do the following. You are going to follow these instructions, except if the square root is irrational, you are going to write an estimate. Now, I have not shown you some of these types of question personally. But you have all of the mathematical knowledge to figure out every single one of these. Okay? I would like to see this done without a calculator. Okay? You have a list of perfect squares. I would like to see this done without a calculator. Is everybody cool? Yes? Of course you are. Go. Oh, I lie. There's 2 questions on page 120 as well. Oh, Mr. Myers, you're such a disappointment. Oh, if only there wasn't so much time left in class. And if only it wasn't something you could do in your head in 2 minutes instead of talking to your friends. If only you couldn't get this all done in 10 minutes and then have 30 to talk to your friends. Oh. Plus, of course, I'll be handing back your projects, to which you will be making the decision for whom you wish you would like to assess your work. No. It will be taken into account. But I'm giving nothing on here because I do not wish to influence your decision. Except, of course, in 4 cases, because I haven't actually read them over yet. So I will be reading theirs. Before I look at your marks for it. Now, listen please. Who's willing to trade with Neufeld? Don't all volunteer at once.
No, he's gonna make me feel bad about my
Well, there's Laura Neufeld.
That's true, I forgot about Laura. Not that you're forgettable.
I feel violated.
Last. It's a meme.
I know.
It's a meme.
It's a file folder, guys. It's like 10 cents at the dollar store.
Yeah.
Chill out.
No, you have to use a translucent.
You should be thinking about making your work look professional.
ooh,
Now, listen, please. Listen, please. I'm still.
Oh, are you going?
Never mind.
No.
I'll just see if you guys can figure it out for yourselves.
Where's my lighter? On the back. Good.
This person didn't bother to put their name on it at all. I remember that. I assume that since you named yours, this must be Harden's. 16, the other's at a 16. They're two separate assignments.
I'm not a mathematician, but I know it.
I'm no mathematician, but I know math. It's like that guy, John Catucci, who hosts You Gotta Eat Here.
I love that.
I'm no chef, but I know good food. I like your title page. It influences me. It is. Mr. McCarr. So, what?
This one? So that one's rational, but that one's not.
So is it irrational?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so give me an estimate.
I get, well, I estimated 15 over 620.
Great.
Is it great? Great.
So, who knows that they handed me in a project written by hand on lined paper?
That's me.
I live in Canada.
I'm sure in Vietnam they put their work name on their work as well. She just forgot. Hey, it's just a big free-for-all? They just throw it all into a giant pot like pho? And the teacher just reaches in and pulls it out? Hey, that's yours!
No, I think we like throw it in and then they all like fight each other for like the best graded. And if you're not like athletically fit,
It's like Hunger Games?
yeah. I'll give you every solution ever.
You're a weird...
Because people are the problem, so less people is a good solution. Well, then you know, there's a lot of
Hey! I'm going to try to say this again. Some of you kept your rubric paper with your project, like I asked you to. Some of you did not. So it is going to be, I'm going to make some extra copies of it. So if you have traded with somebody who did not supply you with a rubric page, you can get one from me and utilize it. All right? Okay. Now, guys, when I say you must justify your assessment of the person, right? I am well aware that it is plenty easier for you to go 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 20 out of 20. I liked it. Okay? Let me give you some guidance on the marking. You are to read these projects assuming that the person that you, as the reader, know nothing about anything. And after you have read this project, you now feel you are completely and 100% able to explain that concept to someone else. What I mean by that is this. Person might have done a whole bunch of math, right? And said, this is the answer, blah, but not explained it. Okay? If you look on that rubric, it's quite plain that I am expecting to see clarity of thought, explanations, like all these things, yes? All right? Now, I know this is only the first one we've done, and I threw you into the deep end. I did that to you on purpose. Because the question is really quite easy, isn't it? We know how to deal with circles and squares. No problem. Right? We know how to measure square meterage. No problem. So why do people get paid $400,000 a year to decide how many houses can go in an area? If the math is that simple. Understand? Okay. So you must look at this objectively, and you must look at it assuming that you know nothing. Okay? Do not bring your knowledge to the party unless you have knowledge that allows you to see that they have made a fundamental flaw in their thinking. Do you understand what I mean? If somewhere in their work they say 1 + 1 is 3, you are allowed to say, no, that's not true. Understand what I'm saying? Everybody? Okay? Yes.
So if like any mathematical concept, you want to say like exactly like the most or like.
Okay, again, we're lawyer balling. Okay? Read the rubric. It says, and I quote, rubric me.
I don't have it.
Damn it!
No, I do. There you go, wait, I got it too.
Explanation shows complete understanding of the mathematical concepts used to solve the problem, to get the 4. Complete understanding. Okay? I would decide if you have showed me complete. The way I make that decision is I pretend to look at it as if I know nothing. Okay? Mathematical reasoning. Use complex and refined mathematical reasoning. Complex and refined. Well, I thought if I just did this, it might work, and it did. Or, let x equal blah. Apply this principle to blah, and then blah, 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 blah. Which one gets the 4?
Blah, 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 blah.
Right. Explanation is detailed and clear. If you leave reading that thinking,
What just happened?
is that a detailed and clear explanation? No. If any part of it makes you go, huh? What do they mean there? Is that detailed and clear? No. And finally, diagrams and sketches. Both of these required some amount of visual interpretation. Thank you. Okay? Okay.
Do we just write every little,
You may try to cram it in right there if you wish, or you may give me a second sheet of paper.
Mr. Myers, may I please go to the washroom?
Please do. I am going to make a copy. Somebody give me one of those rubrics again so I can go down and make some copies of it so I have to dig it out of my computer.
I want to do it.
That's what I hate about rubrics. There's never a 0. What if you really didn't even do? According to this, you could hand me a blank piece of paper, and the lowest mark I could give you is 4 out of 16. You are still getting 25% for doing nothing. Yeah. I want one that hasn't been defaced by Sarah.
Yeah, that was Lauren.
I thought it was Lauren, but I didn't want to accuse Lauren of being that way. Right? You are always like, no matter what I say to you, you're like, whoa, like a muppet. But